Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. We're going to be doing a short video today to talk about Arkham Knight. As you know, the game got re-released yesterday on Steam. A lot of people asked me on Twitter as well as during the stream yesterday to please do an update on the game. I did one a couple months back when we got a big patch to let people know how the game was coming along, and it got better. Still didn't support SLI, still had frame drops in the Batmobile, still had a lot of the issues that was plaguing it at launch, but it was undeniably better than it was at launch. But now that we got a patch yesterday and the final release of the game, really, with the season pass DLC and everything, a lot of people wanted an update on the game, so I figured I'd update you here just to take a quick look at the options menu, just once again to let you know that nothing has changed since the last patch, the last time I updated you guys. They did increase the FPS cap from 30 to 90, which is definitely, better than it was at launch when it was capped at 30 FPS, but it's still not unlimited. There should be no FPS cap in my personal opinion. I've got everything else in here pretty much up full whack. I have film grain and chromatic aberration and motion blur turned off, not because that they're taxing, but because they look ugly as shit, and they shouldn't be in games. Fuck those settings, turn them off. Get rid of them. But let's go ahead. We really want to just jump into the game and see what the performance is actually like, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so here we are now in Arkham Knight, walking around here. Got all the rain effects and the NVIDIA stuff all turned up full whack. I'm getting around 70 FPS, which you'll be able to see in the top right corner of your screen. I don't have my normal overlay up because it doesn't work with the NVIDIA effects in this game. As you saw right there, I was dropping in there. I was getting about 52 FPS. I know it's a little bit harder to see the graphs on the top right, but it's really all I have to show you as far as how the game is running, with everything turned up, all the NVIDIA tech features and everything. Oh, there we go, 25 FPS, 30 FPS right there. We just dropped down to, as I called in the Batmobile. Where's the Batmobile? Here it is. Okay, 50 FPS now, 49 FPS, 48 FPS. This is unacceptable. This is still unacceptable. Like, the game came out in June. I said it was one of the worst ports of all time, and I still stand by that. I mean, they've definitely made it better. I mean, it's playable, but it's still not really worth it in my opinion. The game is I feel it's a big fall from what we expected, what we saw in like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. This game has just taken a massive downturn as far as optimization is concerned and gameplay. The Batmobile that's been forced into the game, and this is largely subjective. I'm sure there's some people out there that played the game and really enjoyed the Batmobile, but I felt like the way that it was put into the game and how it was basically forced into the missions and kind of bookending every single story mission where you had to do these tedious missions in the Batmobile totally just ruined the experience for me and didn't really make it very fun to play. I felt like if I could have just used the Batmobile to kind of get around the city, then it would have been fine. But its implementation of being forced in so many of the missions where it's such a prominent part of the game really just ruined it for me. Made me not even want to play this game, even now that it is running okay. Even though I'm still dropping below 60 FPS here at times here on the 980 Ti, going around here in the Batmobile. It's just not great, it's just, they're jumping out of the Batmobile, dropped down to 44 FPS, 50 FPS, so just not running great overall. The game still needs SLI in my opinion. The way that it works right now is it's basically defaulting the second card to run off PhysX, which has always been an option. You could always do that in the NVIDIA control panel as an option, but by default it should have SLI. The previous games had SLI on the same exact engine, so I don't know why they had to go and change everything this time around. Another thing that is worth noting is that they did say that with this re-release that they're going to be giving away Arkham Asylum, Arkham City Game of the Year editions, as well as Arkham Origins with the DLC along with this game. So that's actually a pretty good package to get along with the game. And it's kind of messed up to say, but I would actually almost say go out on G2A if you don't own those games, that is, and pick this game up for 20 bucks. It's $20 on G2A. If you pick it up on there, you're going to get Arkham Asylum Game of the Year Edition, Arkham City Game of the Year Edition, and Arkham Origins with the DLC. Those are 3 solid titles. At least 2 of them are excellent titles. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are awesome, especially Game of the Year with all the DLC and everything thrown into that. If you buy this for 20 bucks and then you get all of that stuff with it, I think it's worth it for that, even if you never touch Arkham Knight. That's a hell of a deal right there, just in its own right. So I would say pick it up just for that. It's kind of a messed up recommendation. Like, yeah, go buy Arkham Knight, but never actually play Arkham Knight. And they said that, I believe it's by November 16th. So if you buy or own Arkham Knight anytime between now or November 16th, if you have it in your Steam library, they're going to be adding in the other games as well into your Steam library. They're not in there yet, but they said they're working with Valve right now to try to get those games added into everyone's Steam libraries, so that's my recommendation if you don't own those previous titles already, because you can get them all for $20 basically, the entire Arkham bundle or whatever. That's a pretty sweet deal. That's a recommendation from me, but not this game really. If you're getting it just to play this game, I can't really recommend it unless you're an absolute diehard Batman fan, which even I am, but this game's just a messy piece of shit still. It's still not great. I know there's going to be some naysayers out there that are like, oh, no, I played it when it came out, and it was fine, and I absolutely loved it. It's like, no, it wasn't fine. It was a piece of shit, and it's still boring, and the Batmobile's boring, and I don't want to play it. And that is largely subjective, but you can't, it's not subjective, 40 FPS when I'm driving around in a Batmobile. That's not subjective, so you guys can take it for what it is. Make your decision. Let me know what you're going to do down in the comments below. I'd love to get your guys' feedback, as always, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.